Okay, so now I have let my sticks dry overnight. It's the next day, and I'm going to have a look at them. You can see I did all of my ombre painting. So if we look at one, we can tell the very bottom, I don't know if it's showing up in the lights, has the dark green. Mine was green. Then I blended a little bit of the green with the white, so it's lighter, and a little more so. And then at the top is my off-white. I'm not sure how well it shows up in the light. Now that the sticks are dry, and you can do this without waiting for them to dry if you're in a rush. It just is a little easier, and you would get a little less paint in your hands if you wait for them to dry overnight. So now you can see them, and I'm going to try to arrange them into the heart shape before I tie them. I'm going to find my thickest, longest stick, which is separate from the one that we're going to hang it from. Of the ones I painted, there's this one, so that is going to be right in the middle. I'm going to slide it over actually here to where I have my heart on the cardboard. So the thickest one is in the middle, and you can see this one is a lot shorter than this one. You can see the difference in the lengths of them. So the smaller ones are going to be on the outside, the curves of the heart, the edges, and the larger one in the middle, and we'll peek it in to make the heart shape. So take the biggest one in the middle, and I can see this is a tiny one, so I'm going to put it on the edge. I'm looking for another one. Here's another small one, and it's a little curved, so I'm going to put the two small ones on the edge. This is a small one, a little bit. I trimmed a couple of these so that they could be a little more the size that I wanted. You don't want them all the same length, or it'll just be straight across hanging. If you want to get that curve for the heart, then they have to be cut to different sizes. Here's a short one. It's going to go more on the edge. And here's a longer one. So I'm just going to play around, and you can kind of see how it goes, the curve there, the way the branches end. I'm going to do that on this side too, and slide those down. This one's a little shorter, so I'm going to put it over there. Just rearrange a little bit. And like I said, if you need it to just snap them, or you can try with scissors or pliers, just to kind of trim a few of them to get that. If you're going to trim now, we'll trim up at the top where you have not painted. All right. I think that looks good. So I'm going to gather my supplies and get ready to do the next step, which is going to be tying them on. So you want to gather your thread or string and your scissors and your larger branch. Okay, so you might want to take some packaging tape or strong tape and tape your top branch down. I just have Scotch tape, which is not working too well, but so that it doesn't wiggle too much when you're tying everything on. And you're going to take your white string or thread and roll out about a little more than about 14 or so inches. I'm eyeballing it just to be a little longer than a ruler would be. So when I found the instructions for this online, they suggested starting on the top branch, wrapping it around, coming down, and wrapping a whole bunch of times around the little branches, but I had trouble with that. So pretty much I would say whatever way you find it easiest, you're just tying things on. You need to tie onto here and then tie it up to there. And you want it hanging so that it kind of looks like the shape of a heart. It's the general idea. And at the end, we will trim the excess ribbon or string. I found it easier to start with the little one, so I'm going to take, I did one and I tied it on. I'm going to take the next one in the row. The string's getting caught in all the others. I'm going to take the thread and just go until it's even and tie a knot at the top, the unpainted wood part. I'm going to do another knot just to keep it nice and strong. Double knot. Okay, so I knotted on that, and now the tricky part that could possibly be frustrating is getting them to hang exactly the angle that you want them to. So we will try our best. I'm going to line it up next to this one, which is already tied on, and hope that it hangs just where I want it to when I finish tying it on up here. Now I'm going to actually use the tape to hold it down so it doesn't move all over the place. You can do that or not do it, do whatever is right. Same as with taping the stick down and using the tape dispenser just to hold things down. It makes it a lot easier when you're trying to tie a knot. Now I'm going to take my thread and wiggle it under here. There we go. Onto the top branch. And I'm going to tie, it's very loose because it's not really on anything there, if you can see. So if you have somebody else to put a finger in there, or you can try with your own, a little trickier. Okay, and then I'm going to, so I have a little knot, I'm going to loop it around again, see how it's hanging. Okay. And I'm just going to wrap around the other direction of the branch with my loose ends and knot it the other way. And now I am lifting the branch up to do this. Again, I always do 2 knots just to make sure, but it's up to you. Now, I can show you when they're hanging. You have the extra, you'll trim that off the end. You can slide them closer together, further apart. You can sort of see what it's going to look like. I'm going to wait and trim them at the end. So I'm going to pull out more of the thread. Going to take my next little twig, put it down. If you need something to weigh it down so it doesn't wiggle everywhere when you try and tie it, I just took, this is just a Scotch tape dispenser or anything, put it down there just to keep it steady. There's 1 knot, 2. Okay, now I'm going to line up as best as I can, push the other strings out of the way. And again, you don't want them to all be tied at the same height because you're going to try to make the heart shape. So you want them to be curving down So I'm going to adjust the height of this one and have it hang a little lower so that the bottom goes a little lower. I'll take the string up. Put that tape dispenser there to keep it from moving. Take the one end of the string or thread, put it around the bigger branch up top. And there's the first knot, which is really loose. I realized I had pulled it up too high, so I'm going to just slide the string down a little. Just looking at the bottom to make sure it's the right angle. And now I need to tie another knot. Wrap it around the branch and keep going. I'm going to pause my video for now, and it'll take me a little bit to tie all these on.